Last year when I was in Denmark, I was lucky enough to be a part of the LEGO Inside Tour, and I got to visit the LEGO Group's secret vault, which features a copy of basically every single LEGO set ever, including old wooden LEGO toys too. Yeah, LEGO from the 50s all the way up to current LEGO sets that you can buy right now. Let me show you photos that I took while I was there and share the magical experience with you guys. Because honestly, this is the best experience of my life being inside this vault. It was magical. So let's go. I mean, look at this. Mint sealed in box HO scale LEGO cars. It's almost impossible to find stuff like this, classic LEGO sets, in this condition. It's just a delight to see all these old products. It's a beautiful little slice of history. I of course jumped straight to 2001, the birth of Bionicle, and seeing every first wave set mint sealed in box on the shelf, with tons of other sets that I had when I was a kid. I don't know, just being surrounded by my childhood like this, it was surreal. I remember holding a Muaka and Cainra box like this when I was like 5 years old, and dreaming of buying it. But it was far too expensive back in the day. But now here I am, 27, holding it in Billund, Denmark, where it was produced. Life is crazy. Another set I dreamed of owning is the original Republic gunship with Jedi Bob. Look at those lovely classic super battle droids as well. And hey, actually, we recently got Jedi Bob remade in a brand new set. And look at the first ever fan-designed LEGO set. This was made by Daniel Siskind. They're the owner of the company Brickmania. They produce a lot of different, war-based sets, guns, minifigures, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I love classic castle, and I like old medieval buildings like this. Saw a few of them while I was in Denmark, actually. The Santa Fe train. One of the rarest LEGO train sets that there is. I'm not much of a train guy, but I can appreciate this beautiful set. Got a delightful and a strange set here. Yeah, this has to be one of the weirdest LEGO boxes ever. There's a giant blimp piece just sticking out the sides. I've never seen this sealed and in this good of a condition. Just such a joy to see weird oddities like this that LEGO would never make today. Oh baby, I love Rock Raiders. That was my theme that I adored as a kid. And I still love it today. That color scheme and this box art. Picking up this set, I didn't realize how captivating it was. It instantly took me back to being a kid. Normally I don't collect sealed sets. I want to bust that thing right open and build it. But when box art like this transports me back to my childhood, it's got me rethinking about buying sealed products. Now, sadly, I wasn't allowed to film anything while I was inside the vault. I could only take photos, so that's why you're seeing a lot of still images here. But check this out. This was the first ever big castle set that I had as a kid. I played with this castle for hours. I took it apart, I turned it into other things. It was a great time. I mean, look at that lovely green raised base plate. I miss raised base plates, man. Oh, and look at this set too. My brother and I, we bought this when we were younger, and it taught us how to do LEGO stop motion. It's such a clever and fun concept. And you get a Steven Spielberg minifigure. You got a working LEGO camera inside this set that could also take photos. It was really sick. I wish they made something like this again. I think a bunch of people would love it. When I do love adventurers, my brother and I had this lovely Orient Expedition set with that stunning gold dragon. Thankfully, my brother took very good care of this set and that dragon, and when I later inherited it, it meant that I had that dragon in immaculate condition. Thankfully, the vault has all kinds of obscure goodies, because, odd stuff like this Scala set, well, frankly, I've never seen it in person until now. I mean, sets like this are so rare. There's actually so few images of these things online. And if there are images, they're like low-res images. So, to see this in person, it's something else. Check this out, a copy of the Lego Island video game, including a little set with it too. I had no idea that this kind of 2-pack existed. Hours of fun right here. And I never realized that these Belleville figures were in boxes like this. It's great to learn all sorts of things like this in a vault such as this one. And I mean, look at all these unique cloth pieces. It'd be fun to try and build some Bionicles with those parts, wouldn't it? Now, look, I'm kind of darting around the place a little bit here, jumping gears. My apologies. It was very easy for me to get caught up in the excitement in all these different sets. But why was I moving around so much? Well, I was looking for one specific set. The first ever LEGO set that I bought. It's set 6429 Firefighting Boat. I got one of the tour guides to take a photo of me with it. It's so special holding this set in my hands. Holding it in the home of the brick. Easily one of my top 10 moments in my life. So magical. This was almost like a religious experience. Now after doing that, ticking that off my bucket list, I went to get my fix of Bionicle. Look at this sealed Nuirama. Beautiful. This was another one of those sets that I dreamed of owning as a kid, and I had to pick up later in life. But you know, it's been years since I've seen it sealed. Oh, dude, I had this set as a kid. Actually, a good portion of this was glued together and is still glued together in my collection. Still, I spent hours playing with this. And dang, how nice are city sets when they have trans green in them? You don't see that these days. It's always trans blue and all that. Nothing wrong with that, but trans green's nice. Look at that prisoner rocking a backwards cap. Ah, the 90s. Some Belleville as well. I mean, look at these strange pieces and all these bright colors. I love that tent. Imagine how you could use all these cloth pieces. Put them in a Bionicle, it would look real good. Hey, and it's Znap, the Lego theme that barely looks like a Lego theme. It looks a bit more like K'NEX, if you're familiar with that brand. And look, it even seems to come in a kind of carry case. Very interesting. Don't really see too many sets that come with carry cases these days, do you? Man, there's just so many weird and wonderful treasures to find in this vault. The early 2000s, the 80s, the 90s, it was a pretty weird time for Lego sets. The Lego group just doesn't really experiment in the same way they did back then. Oh, and you better believe I was on the hunt for the OG Toa. Look at my boy Tahu, mint, sealed in box. Oh, baby. And Onawa too. You know, my brother, he was the one that had Onawa as a kid. I had every other Toa Mata except for Kopaka. Never ended up buying Kopaka. Not because I didn't like him, I just couldn't find him. I ended up buying him many years later, don't you worry. Then I inherited my brother's Onawa, and I had the complete collection. Oh, man. The classic and the original Hogwarts set, dude. Yeah, this more basic building style, I like it. I like it a lot. Modern Harry Potter sets, they're works of art. Very well made, very refined, nice building techniques, all that. But I don't know. I like this older look. Bit more magical, which is perfect for Harry Potter, right? Ooh, and possibly the most expensive thing I've ever held. It's a mint, sealed-in box Cloud City set. I've seen sets looking like this selling for $8,000, $10,000, even as high as $12,000. This set is a frickin' holy grail. I mean, the minifigures up the top. Alone, they're worth a small fortune. Cloud City Boba Fett with the printing on the arms and the legs, that thing's like $2,000, $3,000. Well, that's what he sells for in the Lego aftermarket these days. Honestly, I couldn't believe I was able to hold this thing. I'm surprised they even let me touch it without having to wear gloves or something. Oh, and just above this set, we have the Vaki and the Toa Metro. Yeah, I'ma say it. Underrated wave of Bionicle sets. I love the Toa Metro, I love the Vaki. I mean, just look at that sensational box art. Oh, mate. Little robot sets as well. Now, I believe this was actually an exclusive color called Little Robots Blue that was on this one here. Despite the fact that these sets weren't buildable at all, they were just static models with 0 stud connections, well, they were actually Lego sets. Wild. Oh, and hey, I didn't expect to see the Mask of Light DVD in here. You know, I spent ages building and playing with my Bionicles, but I spent just as much time watching this movie 1,000 times. I loved it. We got the classic Boeing Dreamliner, and look at those metallic canisters just above. They're from Knight's Kingdom sets. Those silver animal designs that are kind of like embossed forward. Gorgeous. You know, as someone who studied graphic design, it was a real treat to see the evolution of box art designs. Some of the design work that went into making these boxes and canisters is exceptional. Oh, here we go. Brutaka, my boy. I remember I actually couldn't afford this set when it first came out. I had to buy it later on, a couple years later at a Lego convention. I think I even paid like 30 or 40 bucks for it. I got a good deal back then. But mate, the joy that this set brought me, the hours of fun that I had playing with it. It's hard to beat a good gold and dark blue Bionicle. Brutaka's so cool. And this one here was a highlight of touring the vault. My favorite Bionicle set, the Cardus Dragon. I still remember seeing this set for sale in Target for the very first time. I didn't even know this thing existed until it was right in front of me. Little like 10-year-old me looking at it back then, I was captivated. But yeah, when I first saw it, I freaked out. I was like, whoa, a Bionicle set I had no idea about. And it's a giant dragon. I love dragons. Nothing makes my soul sing like seeing a big old Lego set. We got Anika, we got Paraka. Dude, my whole childhood is in this vault. And look at this. One of the elusive Ultimate Accessory Pack sets, where you literally just bought a big old Cheeto ball tub filled with Bionicle parts. Dude, that was such a good idea for a set. No instructions, just Bionicle pieces. Sounds like a good time. Oh, and Clickets as well. The precursor to the Lego Dots theme, to some degree. You get stationery, you get jewelry, you can decorate all of that with this, I don't know, they're kind of weird looking Lego pieces. But they're good Lego pieces. Honestly, I'd love this theme to return. All those obscure pieces and weird elements. I actually bought a bunch of Clicket sets while I was in Denmark. They have heaps of them in the op shops around there. Can't wait to use them in my own mocks. Now, we've been talking about awesome box art. Look at this. These darker colors contrasting with the light up red eyes of that robot drone pilot. Exo-force was the best Lego theme. You know, I love my Bionicle, but Exo-force was right up there as some of my favorite Lego themes. It still is. I actually bought pretty much every Exo-force set when they were coming out. I mean, look at Supernova as well. The red and the yellow. This mech was the best. Dude looks like a Gundam or something. Lego, please bring back Exo-force. Not just, one mech in a Lego City set like you did this year. Bring back the whole theme, please. And Avatar: The Last Airbender too. That's another theme that should make a return. I mean, heck, we've got the Netflix series going on right now. That's a good excuse to bring it back. Come on. And seeing classic Visorak, that brings back some good memories. Yeah, I remember taking this set here to school for show and tell. I remember I showed the class the Ratuka spinner on the back of the Visorak and everyone thought it was so cool. And then we got an obscure one here. An early Lego factory set. Look at those micro-scale buildings. Some cute and tiny looking cars. And a nice train at the back too. We even got a brick-built Statue of Liberty. Man, this is cool. This is one of those sets I remember seeing in catalogs, and I think I even saw it at the Lego store at the time. But I don't know, just didn't think about buying it. Although I would absolutely buy it now, this is great. Now, I've been slowly moving back to 2005, and dude, Revenge of the Sith era sets. Man, that was such a good time to be a Star Wars fan. And such a good time to be a Lego fan. I mean, look at this packaging. The lava with Darth Vader up the top. Every set from this year was a banger. You know, the value of every single set in here must be so much. Obviously, none of it's for sale, but to track these things down in mint condition, sealed in box, and put them all in one place, I can only imagine how expensive that would have been. Yo, Vladik's Dark Fortress! This castle is massive. All those play features it has, all those minifigures, it was good value for money back in the day. It's kind of the ultimate playset. I still don't own this one, but I'm hoping I can one day. I love castle sets, and this one might be one of the best. Then we've got a cute and very early advent calendar. Man, nowadays you got all those licensed advent calendars. Your Star Wars ones, your Marvel ones, your Harry Potter ones. I guess you also have City and Friends as well, but getting a more traditional advent calendar that is purely Christmas themed, and it's pretty much only using basic bricks, that's something you don't see today. Then we got the Rakshi. Oh my god, it's so exciting looking at these pictures a year later. I remember seeing the Rakshi on shelves for the very first time. I'd never seen them in Lego magazines. This was the first I learnt about them. And legit, I saw it and I went, that's not a Lego set, that's some kind of fake thing. Little did I know I would eventually come to love the Rakshi. They're some of the coolest and most iconic designs across all of Bionicle. But apparently my younger self was like, nah, don't like them, pass. Oh look, and we got the Geonosian Starfighter with those amazing sand red battle droids. Dude, Lego, bring back sand red. It's such a pretty color. I've moved back to kind of 2002, 2003, it seems. I was zooming all around the vault in all kinds of directions. But now I'm back in 2009. Why am I moving so much? Well, we had a limited time in the vault. I think it was 30 minutes, maybe even as low as 20 minutes, which was not enough time. So I did my best to see everything and really try and locate those incredibly rare sets as quickly as I could. More beautiful Exo-force sets here. This one actually looks even more like a Gundam. And then we have the mighty Golden Guardian. Look at that limited edition gold packaging and all those great gold pieces on the set. Even some nice gold stickers too. Yeah, even the box is actually a little bit holographic when you look at the background. Man, you know, LEGO doesn't make fancy box art like this these days. Speaking of fancy boxes, look at those leaning Baraki canisters. Mate, the Mari era of Bionicle, yeah, it was the best year of Bionicle. Got to see a sealed Cafe Corner, another set that's worth a few $1,000 sealed in box. Dude, I remember the first time that this set was advertised in a LEGO magazine and I first laid eyes on it. As soon as I turned the page and I gazed upon its beauty, my jaw hit the floor and I immediately ran over to my parents and I was like, please, I need this, it's so cool. I then bought Market Street back then too. You know, there's a lot of debate online as to whether or not this counts as a modular building, since it was branded differently. But I say this is absolutely a modular building, and it's a darn good one too. And holy heck, one of the very first Star Wars battle packs, and this one is a classic. Look at that Shock Trooper and the 327th Star Corps figure. This was one of my first sets that I actually bought multiple copies of because it was just that good. Some more awesome packaging here on the set Assault Tiger. Look at how some parts of it are see-through, so that it allows the backdrop that's underneath it to kind of shine through. It gives a little bit of depth to the box, makes it pop. Interesting. I feel like sometimes it's easy to ignore LEGO boxes. You know, after all, what's inside the box is the best part. I'm just gonna rip it up and throw it out anyway. But you know, seeing literally every LEGO box ever in one place, it helped me develop a new level of respect for these awesome designs. I realized just how much nostalgia I have over this packaging. Some of the memories that these sets unlocked for me, it was truly magical. Like this Clone Wars style packaging. I can still feel the hype I had back in 2008. The Clone Wars movie, the Clone Wars TV series, and then LEGO sets based off the Clone Wars. All of that made me so happy and so freaking excited. I remember counting down the days for when these sets would finally drop and I could own each and every one of them. Space Police 3. Some of the most creative spaceship designs ever were in this theme, and some of the best minifigure design too. All those bad guys, they were great. And then arguably the best play feature in any LEGO set, the Republic dropship with AT-OT. Back then, this was an expensive set, and it's even more expensive these days if you want one. But hey, when that gunship can pick up the walker and carry it around, well, it's worth the cost. Some power miners too, and 2009 was the best year for LEGO. So was 2008. Those last few years before we headed into 2010 were exceptional. I mean, look at the way that the Thunder Driller is bursting through all that rock. Whenever I dream of LEGO making more independent themes based off of non-intellectual property stuff, I think of themes like this. How cool would it be to get another mining-focused theme? You know, you had rock raiders, you had power miners, and they were so good. Look at those colors. Look at those awesome rock monsters. Power miners, man, LEGO knocked it out of the park. Oh, and then Medieval Market Village. I remember when this set came out, it was the first time I noticed the online LEGO community freaking out over a new set. This was a big deal back in the day. All these great minifigures, beautiful medieval architecture, and a really nice tree in the middle. This set really had it all. And I found it. The Holy Grail Bionicle set, Toa Matanui. Look at that stunning gold mask of life. And look at this box art with the Skrull maze symbol on the side and the desert behind him. This is awesome. I even found a, well, semi-recent set that I didn't know existed until now. It's a Year of the Snake set. Look at that light bluish grey rounded piece at the back with those snakes printed on it. It's kinda cool. Oh, and quite a cheap set here that included the original Phase 2 Captain Rex. Now, this of course is worth hundreds of dollars. Such an expensive figure for such a small package. Man, just look at all these sets. Yeah, unfortunately the vault isn't just something you can visit. You need to have a pretty good reason to be let in. But I would give anything to have another look in this place. It's just sensational and there's so much cool stuff. Now we move into some lovely Chima Ultra Build sets. Look at them in their little strange pouch packaging. And then we start to move into the age of Hero Factory, over into 2010. Lots of great villains here, but where is he? Where's my boy? Surge, my beloved! Great to see you, old friend. You can rest here alongside the Bionicle Stars sets and the other 1.0 heroes. Oh, and look, the birth of the collectible minifigure series. Series 1 and 2 in these boxes right here. Man, I think we're up to like 20 something now with how many waves of CMFs there've been. Not to mention some of the licensed offshoots and all that. There's so many. Then we've got a weird one. One of the first LEGO Ideas sets, or LEGO Kuso as it was known back then. Such an odd choice for a set, but hey, I guess it got the votes it needed. Aha, and the famous goat set. Those two goats that you can see there on the box? Well, today they're worth more than the set retailed for. A lot more. It's crazy. Speaking of crazy, I have never seen these European exclusive Chima sets in their packaging in person. Well, until now. I need to track these sets down one day, man. But they're just so hard to come by. Oh, I still want this Clone Wars set. Look at those awesome Wolfpack Phase 2 troopers. If this set wasn't so expensive to buy, it would be in my collection. Oh, and look at that. Bionicle G2 sets sealed and looking pretty. I still remember the joy I felt when I saw Bionicle back from the dead and up on store shelves once again. Can that happen again, please, LEGO? When are we gonna get G3? We also have the exceptional Ninjago City, one of the most fun LEGO sets that I've ever built. And the final wave of G2, including that awesome Trans Blue Ikimu set. Very nice. And then plenty of other goodies. You know, we're heading towards the end of the vault now. And as we get closer to today's sets, you can see lots of empty space. Space for future years and future sets. As more LEGO sets come out, more stuff will be added to the vault. Oh, but you better believe I spotted that gift with purchase Tahu set. Gotta find all the Bionicles in here, and this one counts. Now, as we move on, there's some other goodies all the way at the back. We have a nice catalogue of a bunch of very, very old wooden LEGO toys. Of course, before LEGO made its plastic building blocks, they made wooden toys, or old plastic toys. Then they realized, hey, bricks and blocks, they're kind of the best, so they stuck with that. But man, seeing all of these in almost perfect condition, well, you just don't see that. These toys are so old and so hard to find, and if you do ever find them, they're normally pretty beat up. So it's truly a one-of-a-kind thing to see so many in one place. But isn't it wild to see what kind of weird and wonderful sets LEGO used to make back in the day? Or even just some of these very old, early system brick sets with the HO scale cars. So delightful. I'll leave you with a few more images of some of these strange and impressive wooden LEGO toys. I mean, mate, the vault is perhaps the greatest place in the world. I've never felt so much joy in my life walking through these halls. Just being surrounded by your childhood and so many beautiful memories, it's amazing. It makes me so happy to be a LEGO fan. I mean, after looking at this, it made me keen to go buy more LEGO sets and make even more memories. And then once I've built those LEGO sets, you gotta take them apart and build your own cool mocks with those pieces. This hobby's the best. And the LEGO Vault is also the best. Well, hopefully you enjoyed taking a walk down memory lane and seeing all this cool and old stuff. Thanks for watching, happy building, and bye for now.